Eala met her fans at Nike Fort Taguig in the morning. By night, she stood inside the presidential palace. On July 13, 2026, those two completely different worlds became one unforgettable story. Alex, you have brought immense pride to the Philippines not only because of your victories, but because of the grace with which you carry your success. Picture the first scene. It's a warm Monday morning in Bonifacio Global City. Outside Nike Fort Taguig, a long line of excited fans stretches around the building. They're not waiting for a tennis match. They're waiting to meet the woman who has become the face of a nation's sporting dream, Eala. Inside, Nike has organized more than just a fan event. It's an intimate conversation about pressure, discipline, sacrifice, and the unseen hours that create champions. One young fan clutches her phone with trembling hands while another quietly whispers, "I'm so nervous." Now picture the second scene. Just a few hours later, inside the magnificent ceremonial hall of Malacanang Palace, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. waits to welcome the Philippines' newest sporting icon. The same 21-year-old who inspired thousands that morning now stands before the nation's highest office. Officially ranked world number 28, her highest career ranking released earlier that very day, Eala prepares to speak. And then she smiles, before admitting something no one expected. "I'm actually pretty nervous." Two completely different rooms. One extraordinary Monday. One unforgettable Eala. To understand why an entire country celebrated her in two historic ceremonies on the same day, we have to go back just 9 days. July 4, 2026. Center Court. Wimbledon. The entire tennis world watched in disbelief as 21-year-old Eala, seeded number 29, produced the biggest victory of her career. Facing defending champion Iga Swiatek, Eala delivered fearless tennis and stunned one of the sport's biggest stars in a dramatic 3-set battle. With that victory, history was made. Eala became the first Filipino singles player in the Open era to reach the round of 16 at a Grand Slam. Although her remarkable Wimbledon run ended in a hard-fought 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini, something much bigger had already begun. When she boarded her flight home, she wasn't simply returning from a tournament. She was returning as a national hero. What happened next wasn't an ordinary homecoming filled with interviews and photographs. It was an entire nation deciding that this moment deserved to be remembered forever. But beneath all the celebrations lies a quieter, more personal story. There is no villain here. No controversy. No rivalry. The real tension exists inside Alex herself. On one side stands the private athlete, the young woman who spends countless lonely hours training when no cameras are watching. The player who climbed from around world number 140 at the beginning of 2025 to inside the world's top 30 through relentless work, endless travel, and sacrifices few people ever see. On the other side stands something entirely different. A national symbol. Someone millions of Filipinos now look toward with hope, pride, and expectation. That responsibility is far heavier than any tennis racket. During the evening reception, the Presidential Communications Office released President Marcos Jr.'s remarks. What stood out wasn't his praise for her Wimbledon victories. It wasn't her ranking. It wasn't her statistics. Instead, he focused on something far deeper. "Alex, you have brought such pride to the Philippines not only because of your success, but because of the grace with which you handle that success." Those words resonated across the country. Because at that very moment, Eala stopped being just another rising tennis player. She became a symbol of Filipino excellence. And symbols carry enormous weight. She's only 21 years old. In just 12 days, she'll leave the presidential palace behind and return to professional tennis at the Wimbledon City DC Open in Washington, beginning July 25. One day she's standing beside the President of the Philippines. Less than 2 weeks later, she'll be standing alone behind a baseline, fighting for every point once again. That's the remarkable reality of elite sports. Let's return to that Monday morning. Because this is the part much of the international media barely noticed. Nike Fort Taguig wasn't designed as a simple autograph session. Nike described the gathering as a morning of stories, lessons, and meaningful conversations beyond the court. Those 3 words, beyond the court, captured the entire purpose of the event. Alex arrived wearing a crisp white outfit proudly inspired by Filipino culture. Lifestyle reporters admired every detail, even her now famous ruffled socks. But fashion wasn't the story. The real story was the conversation. Instead of discussing forehands and rankings, Alex opened up about pressure, mental strength, self-belief, and the invisible struggles every athlete faces long before anyone applauds them. According to ABS-CBN's coverage, she reflected on the little girl who once dreamed about moments exactly like this. Then she shared a thought that touched everyone in the room. "It's even better than I ever imagined." Hours later came an even bigger moment. That evening, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. officially welcomed Alex Eala home at Malacanang Palace and presented her with a presidential citation honoring her historic Wimbledon achievement. The Philippine news agency described the award as recognition of her becoming the first Filipino ever to reach the round of 16 of a Grand Slam singles tournament. Family members watched proudly from nearby. The president spoke first. He smiled warmly and said, "Whenever we have these programs here, I always begin by saying it is my pleasure to receive you. But tonight, it's not just a formality. I truly am so happy to have you here." Then came the words that would define the evening. "You have brought such pride to the Philippines not only because of your success, but because of the grace with which you handle that success. You show the very best qualities of the Filipino people. Notice what mattered most. Not the trophies. Not the rankings. Not even the historic victory over IGA Swiatek. It was her humility. Her character. Her grace. Because greatness isn't measured only by how you win. It's measured by who you become while winning." Then the room fell completely silent. Alex Eala walked to the microphone. She looked around the room, took a deep breath, smiled, and confessed something refreshingly honest. "I have to confess, I normally don't get very nervous when I have to speak. But today is the exception." She paused. "I'm pretty nervous." For a nation that had spent the entire day celebrating a champion, those simple words reminded everyone of one beautiful truth. Behind the history, behind the headlines, behind the rankings, behind the applause, Alex Eala is still a 21-year-old young woman chasing her dream, 1 point, 1 match, and 1 unforgettable moment at a time. Think about what that moment truly meant. Just 9 days earlier, Alex Eala had walked onto center court at Wimbledon, faced 6-time Grand Slam champion IGA Swiatek, and defeated her under the brightest spotlight in tennis. Millions watched around the world, yet she never looked shaken. But standing inside Malacanang Palace, speaking before the President of the Philippines, she admitted something surprising. This was different. This made her nervous. That simple confession revealed something powerful. Winning on center court required courage. Speaking to an entire nation that believed in her required something even greater. Then came the words that became the emotional heart of the evening. "I feel very seen. Hearing that from you makes me feel that all the hard work I've done has been seen. All the hours that aren't on TV are seen, validated, and appreciated." Those weren't just beautiful words. They were the invisible story behind every athlete's success. The endless practice sessions. The lonely mornings. The injuries. The sacrifices. The flights. The setbacks. The moments when nobody is watching and nobody is applauding. Every professional athlete lives through those unseen hours. Very few ever get the chance to tell the country that raised them what those hours truly cost. That night, Alex Eala did. And then she spoke from the heart once again, this time in Tagalog. "Tagumpay nating lahat. This is our victory. Our victory, together." Moments later, she added another message that resonated throughout the country. "Lubos kong ipinagmamalaki ang pagiging Filipino. I take great pride in being Filipino. I carry our flag with me wherever I go, and I will continue to represent the Philippines in the best way that I possibly can." Those weren't simply thank you remarks. They became the defining words of an unforgettable day. That was the moment July 13th stopped being just another news story. It became a national memory. But why did everything happen so quickly? The answer begins long before the presidential palace. Long before Manila celebrated Eala, the international tennis world had already recognized what had happened. Center court spoke first. The morning after her stunning Wimbledon victory, major international media outlets all reached the same conclusion. ESPN highlighted her incredible upset over the defending champion. Sky Sports called it one of the tournament's biggest shocks. The New York Times, through The Athletic, wrote that Eala had exploded into the wider sporting consciousness. These weren't Philippine newspapers celebrating one of their own. These were the global voices that decide which athletes become international stories. When the world's biggest sports media all focus on the same player during the same weekend, people notice. Including governments. The reception at Malacanang wasn't created to manufacture a headline. It was the nation's official recognition of a story the world had already begun telling. Now step back and look at the bigger picture. The remarkable part wasn't simply that Alex met her fans. And it wasn't simply that she was welcomed by the president. It was that both happened on the very same day. Morning. Nike Fort Taguig. Afternoon. National headlines. Evening. Malacanang Palace. And before the celebrations had even ended, another major fan event was already scheduled for July 15th at Glorieta Activity Center. It felt almost like the entire country was racing to keep up with her success. The private sector welcomed her. The government honored her. The public embraced her. All within a matter of hours. That's what happens when a career accelerates faster than anyone expected. There was another remarkable coincidence. On the same day she received her presidential citation, the official WTA rankings confirmed her new career-high ranking of world number 28. Recognition arrived from two completely different directions. One from world tennis, the other from her homeland. Both within the same 24 hours. But beneath the celebration lies something even more important. At world number 28, Eala enters an entirely new chapter of her career. She is no longer simply the promising young player chasing established stars. She is becoming one of the players others must prepare to face. That changes everything. Expectations rise. Pressure increases. Every opponent studies your game. Every tournament becomes more demanding. That new reality officially begins on July 25th at the Mubadala City DC Open in Washington. And here's the remarkable part. The country isn't celebrating a championship trophy. They're celebrating a breakthrough. A turning point. A new beginning. Alex herself made that perfectly clear. She told everyone gathered at the palace that this recognition wasn't her finish line. It was only another step toward even greater dreams. Before returning to competition, she'll take a scheduled 3-week break. Then comes Washington. A WTA 500 tournament featuring some of the biggest names in women's tennis. There will be no easy matches. No easy draws. No shortcuts. Which brings us back to the words she spoke inside the palace. The hours that aren't on TV. Those hours begin again almost immediately. Practice courts. Fitness sessions. Recovery. Film study. Preparation. The cameras won't be there. The headlines will disappear for a while. But the work continues. The difference now is that an entire nation finally understands those unseen hours matter just as much as the moments under the bright lights. So what was July 13th, 2026, really about? It wasn't just a fan event. It wasn't simply a presidential reception. It was two completely different rooms connected by one extraordinary story. In the morning, hundreds of fans waited nervously for the chance to meet Eala. That evening, Eala admitted she was nervous standing before her president. For a brief moment, both sides realized something beautiful. Everyone in those two rooms wanted exactly the same thing. To be seen. To be understood. To share a moment that would last far beyond tennis. Nike described the morning as meaningful conversations beyond the court. In many ways, everything that truly mattered that Monday happened beyond the court. Today, Eala represents much more than a world ranking. Those words may become every bit as memorable as the victories that inspired them. She represents more than a historic Wimbledon run. She represents proof that a Filipino athlete can stand on one of the biggest stages in world sport, compete without fear, and inspire millions back home. Filipino tennis player could reach that level. On July 13th, the answer became unmistakably clear. Eala answered not with a forehand, not with another trophy, but with humility, with gratitude, with 2 languages, and with one unforgettable reminder. All the hours that aren't on TV are seen.